Ladies and gentlemen, Wriothesley is so close to releasing to Genshin Impact, and of course, a lot of you might be into Sampo version 2.0, but there's also people like me who are a little bit skeptical. That's why, looking at this banner for Wriothesley and of course the returning Venti, I'm a little skeptical on why anybody would want to summon, outside of just, obviously seeing one of their favorite characters. So today we're going to be talking about if you should summon for Wriothesley and Venti. Now, of course, if you like the content, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below and hit that notification bell to be notified of when the next Genshin Impact video comes out. Y'all, of course, I am always sponsored by the ever lovely Gamer Subs. That's right, Gamer Subs is gluten-free, keto-friendly, caffeine and caffeine-free, organically fantastic, wonderful energy drink, and it's good for you, in my personal opinion. You have so many different fruit extracts that will actually help you with your vitamin intake, and it's delicious. I'm just saying, it's so good. Obviously, Blowhole Blast being one of my favorites, and of course, you can actually be at the Gamer Subs booth that is going to happen at TwitchCon. If you are going, let me know. Would love to see you guys there. But without any further delay, let's go ahead and get into today's video. Wriothesley, Wriothesley, however you want to say it, Wriothesley is upon us, and of course we are also seeing the returning Venti, who happens to be one of my favorite units just in general for characterization. I've loved Venti since the beginning, so I have a little special place in my heart for Venti. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the 4 stars, and that's what's ever the scary thing about this, right? The 4 stars are just terrible. Let's just go ahead and dive in. So we have Qingyu. Now Qingyu, my boy, my dog. We just got a better Qingyu just a little bit ago with Freminet. I'm being honest. It's not to be mean about Qingyu, right? It's just being for real. I feel that Freminet does a lot better. Now, of course, my Freminet is built and my Qingyu isn't, but from what I'm seeing with other people who build Qingyu, it's just not that good. Now, of course, maybe Qingyu just needs that little bit of boost from one of the new sets, but I'm still going to sit here and say that I don't think Qingyu's going to be able to do as much as Freminet per se. Now, of course, I could be wrong. I am not a Qingyu expert, nor am I a Freminet expert. I can only go off of how I build the characters or how I view them. And I can tell you right now, Freminet just feels a little bit more solid. I'll bet I don't think that Freminet is that good either. So using those two, I'm not a big fan. Plus, unfortunately, and it pains me to say this, y'all, Cryo is one of the worst elements right now. And this is coming from the Ganyu stand. That's right. The Ganyu stand. Yes, the Ganyu boy. And if you couldn't tell from the other stuff over there, gotta make sure that doesn't fall. I love using Ganyu, and it's unfortunate because, with the release of Dendro, Electro has gone up in rank, and Dendro is up there now. So 2 have already beaten it out. Pyro is already better. I honestly think it's tough between Cryo and Hydro, and then of course, Cryo and Geo. But unfortunately, with the release of Neuvillette, Cryo's kind of left in the dust, and Hydro works with freaking Dendro for Bloom, and with Electro it makes Hyper Bloom. It's crazy to see the downfall of the Cryo element. Hopefully we could change that, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But we're not here to, cry about the elements. We're here to talk about the units. So Qingyu is a downer. I'm going to say no to that. Let's talk about Thoma, right? I have a little bit of a spot for Thoma, whether it be a soft spot or just me being annoyed spot. Thoma's there. Now, little bit of personal information, y'all. I had an ex who absolutely loved Thoma. I took a quiz. She loved the fact that I got Thoma. And honestly, I hate it. I hate the fact that, I got Thoma, not just because of her, but also because I was so hyped for Thoma when he first came out, only to find out that, in my opinion and a lot of other people's opinions, he's only really good with Hu Tao. And it's unfortunate because, he could have been a lot better. I thought that he would have been really cool with his overlapping shields, giving you that support that you need. But in all honesty, that just didn't happen. And Thoma has become one of those units that I just, every time I see him on a banner, I just shake my head. And this is one of those times where I'm just SMHing on him. Now, let's go ahead and talk about Dori. Now, Dori, I feel, gets a bad rap. And the reason why I say that is because Dory is an Electro Claymore user. Now, the Claymore is a little weird to me, but it leads to the funny animation of her spinning around on a slime. I think her aesthetic is great. Her character is really, really like decent in my opinion in regards to her characterization. I think she's cool. But herein lies the problem. While Dory's healing can be really, really good at times, her electro application is left to be desired. I really don't think that she has good electro application in the first place. And that's what sucks because I can't defend her. I really, really can't defend her in the slightest in regards to that. But I still think that her healing does really, really well. I was healing pretty good. I think I was just about 9k per tick at one point with my fully built Dory. And that's pretty good. I think that Dory can do really, really well. Unfortunately, that's all she can do. And with other healers being able to outpace her, I don't think that she really does something that others don't. Again, her electro application is not that great and her healing is good, but can be outpaced. So sadly, all 3 of the 4 stars are a downer for me. Though I will be happy if I could pull some more Dory, because Dory, out of all 3 of them, is going to be the only character that I have not C6'd out of this banner. Except for 5 stars. Now let's go ahead and talk about Venti. Now, I'm not going to be summoning for Venti, but I am here to talk about my personal feelings of Venti and if I feel that you guys should summon for him. Now, Venti is a fun character. That's my opinion. Now, people might argue like, bow users are not that fun, Tysra. You shouldn't use a bow user. My thing about Venti is that Venti's burst is dope. You summon a giant tornado and suck in medium to small enemies into the tornado. I think that's dope. I really do. Plus the swirl application that you get through it with the ability to be able to pair, you know, Venti with maybe official right in the middle, or even, you know, other characters such as Zhangling, Xingqiu, and get that swirl off. I think it's fantastic. I love it. Venti as a character is fantastic. I love Venti since the start of the game. Here's another bit of history. I didn't realize that Venti was a trap. Didn't realize it. And I had, in my first stream of Genshin Impact, summoned for Venti, got Venti, called Venti my bae, called Venti my waifu, before I even started playing the story. That's right, I put in money right out the gate to get Venti. And my buddy Benji was just like, hey dude, that's a dude. And I was like, no, you're wrong, shut up. He wasn't wrong. Found that out. So yeah. Anyways, Venti is a lot of fun in regards to the kit. I think that Venti is, in general, a fun character. Is Venti meta? Absolutely not. Venti does get outpaced by Kazuha, to be quite honest. And Kazuha is one of the best units in the game. So if you're looking for usability, if you're looking for meta-based, I would skip Venti. However, I think Venti can do really, really well. Even in Spiral Abyss, I think that Venti's ability to be able to use that tornado is worth at least using because, again, the crowd control mechanic of it is fantastic. However, again, gets outpaced by Kazuha, so honestly, I wouldn't blame you if you skipped. Which brings us to our headliner, Mr. Wriothesley here. Wriothesley is a Cryo Catalyst user, the first Cryo Catalyst user, which is crazy to think. Like we haven't had a Cryo Catalyst user in 3 years. Now we do. And honestly, Wriothesley seems like he could be fun. The problem is, again, that Cryo is a very bad element right now. Cryo's not in a good state. It's the second worst element aside from Geo, and I'm going to call that as I see it. It's the truth. Honestly, the only Geo character really worth its bang is Zhongli, and people might disagree with me, but you're wrong. Zhongli is fantastic. However, there are a couple of units that kind of do well for Geo, with Ito, depending on the team that you have, if it's all Geo, and Albedo, which is Albedo. But I digress. We're not here to talk about Geo. We're here to talk about Wriothesley. Wriothesley's skill consumes 4.5% HP as you're going through the skill. And I think it's per tick, if I remember correctly. Let me look at the skill one more time. We'll read it off really quick just so I can understand. Chilling penalty increases Wriothesley's interruption resistance, which is good. That skill makes it, that part of the skill makes it worth. When his HP is above 50%, it will enhance the repelling fists of normal attack, forceful fists of frost, and increase its damage. With each when such an attack hits, wow, I can't read. It will consume a fixed amount of Wriothesley's HP, which is 4.5% max HP. HP can be lost this way every 0.1 second. So it's every tick, which makes me kind of scared because you want to stay above that 50% to get that increased damage. So to me, if you're increasing that damage, but you lose out on your HP after you go below 50%, that could be a detriment. However, we do see this with Neuvillette being able to do, you know, the Kamehameha, but I don't know. I'm kind of nervous about it. I want to see how Wriothesley works because at least with Neuvillette, you have plenty of options in regards to reactions that are actually beneficial. With Cryo, might be something different, but I don't know. I have to play test him and give it myself. So honestly, with Wriothesley, with how I'm seeing these banners in general, and this isn't just to say Wriothesley, right? It's tough. Venti banner, skip. To be 100% honest, Venti comes back consistently. Venti is cool, but not needed. Wriothesley, it's going to be a skip, man. Even though Wriothesley is the first Cryo Catalyst user, even though Wriothesley has a potential really good kit, the problem lies within the Cryo element itself and needing an actual full-blown boost. We need some good support units. And yes, we have Shinhe, but I don't think Shinhe is, you know, going to help. It's not gonna, you know, put the Cryo element on her back, if you know what I mean. And with the 4 stars being Dori, Toma, and Chongyun, you're really in for a world of hurt if you summon on this banner. This is a massive skip. Wait for Furina and Charlotte in the next update, or Arlecchino later on, and some of the other stuff that I've been hearing. That's who I think you should wait for. Skip Wriothesley, skip Venti. Now, of course, you don't have to agree with me. Let me know in the comments down below if you agree with everything that I'm saying here, or if you disagree with something that I have said here. I would love to hear y'all's opinion about this for sure. But anyways, y'all, that's going to be it. Love you to death. And as always, we'll catch you in the next video. Please take care and be safe.